Okay guys, so when you are doing this process, remember for the most part that you are going to want to use the brush selection tool. Remember, we have a lot of selection tools, but the brush one is the one that allows us the most control. And remember, the brush one looks like this, looks like a paintbrush with that little tiny dotted circle next to it. I'm going to take that. Remember, when you're selecting, the green screen allows you to quickly to better select you. So you'll run your brush over yourself, try to get as complete as you can. Notice I'm going for most of Mr. Sakis. Remember that if you mess up, if you accidentally get sections that you don't want, such as this green section right here, hold down your Alt key and you can wipe it away. That looks good. Looks like I've got her mostly selected. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what I want. Sorry, wrong. No, can't edit this out. This is all just one shot. Okay, so I've got it all selected. You can go back up and say Edit Copy. Take her to the section that you want and paste her in. I used a keyboard shortcut, but you can also use Edit Paste. And you'll notice I got her in, but notice that edge is not very well blended. Right now, this looks like a 1 on the edge blending. Why? Because I can see large chunks of her are still weird and green, and also they're really, really, really like blocky. So I'm going to go take my eraser tool over here, turn down my hardness to 0, and maybe go with a slightly larger brush, and then zoom in, and then wipe away some of that. I'm wiping away a little too much hair for my taste, so I'm going to take that brush down a little bit more. And I'm going to just go through and start softening that edge and getting some of that green out as well. And you should blend your edges afterwards. Got it? Now, if the lighting doesn't work, if you need to tone down your lighting, one quick way to do that is take your selection tool, and you're going to select yourself again. Make sure you're on the right layer. So notice I've got the Mr. Sakis layer, not the water layer. And I'm going to run my selector over just Mr. Sakis. Remember, selection, aside from being able to cut and paste someone, also determines what part of your picture that you're changing things with. So for instance, if I select Mr. Sakis, and I then use an adjustment like brightness contrast, it should only affect Mr. Sakis and not the water. Remember, we've got a couple of different sliders that we've covered that might help you in here. You can, of course, turn the brightness down or up, depending upon how bright your picture is. You can also do your contrast, depending on how harsh your lighting is in your original picture. Last but not least, remember your HSL adjust is where your saturation is. So if you need to be more colorful or less colorful to match your picture, that's where you do it. Just remember, you want to select yourself to make sure that you're adjusting only yourself and not the entire picture. If I deselect and then I try to adjust something, you'll notice it changes the entire picture, not just my selection. So make sure you've got your selection, and you'll notice with the selection, it only changes Mr. Sakis. Questions, comments, confusions? Awesome. So you should, if you have not done so already, start loading your pictures in. And start putting your pictures together. I'll load this to YouTube, post the link in Google Classrooms, and you can review that if you need a step-by-step, slower review for that. Let me